Hey kids, it's Papa. Are you ready to explore the Bible? Good. Well, I think this is going to be the last one before Christmas. I don't know. Maybe we'll have pushed things off and this is actually in January. I don't know. But let's take a look in Genesis chapter 26. Now, a lot of things happen here in a short period of time. Um, you remember the last thing we saw was that the servant had gone and had gone all the way to Pandanaram and Ur of the Chaldees, and there he had found a bride for Isaac. He ended up bringing her back. Can you imagine that, though? Seriously, think about that. Melody, if someone were to say, okay, listen, I've got a husband for you. You've never met him. You don't know what he looks like. I don't have any pictures. You don't know what kind of a guy he is, but are you willing to go marry him for the rest of your life? Yeah, it was a scary thing. But for some reason, she was willing to do it. And so she went all the way back and she was married to Isaac. And a little while later, Abraham died. And Isaac and also then Ishmael came back. And the two of them went and buried him, put his body next to the body of his wife Sarah. And it had to have been a touching time. But we see that Isaac had, his wife got pregnant, and Rebecca had when she got pregnant, what she didn't realize was that there were twins in there, and they struggled together. Can you imagine that? In the womb, the two twins are struggling, fighting with each other. And when she didn't know why, she prayed and she said, Lord, why is this, why are they fighting in there? And in verse 23 of chapter 25, Genesis chapter 25, verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Interesting. And so we see that they were born, and it was Esau and Jacob, and they were when they were born. Interestingly enough, Jacob is Jacob is kind of the Hebrew name for James, and it means supplanter or deceiver, or that which takes from someone else. So we get that from this Jacob, and we're going to see why in just a little bit. But we find that as they grew older, the boys kind of developed their own way of doing things. And Esau was older, and so because he was born first, he was going to get the big inheritance. He was also not only going to get the birthright, but he was also going to get the blessing from the father. And this was things that was very important in their culture. But Esau was a big, burly, hairy man, and he loved to go out and hunt, and Esau was not big and burly. Apparently, he was smaller and more frail, and not Esau. Esau was the big burly one, but Jacob was the lesser of the two. And he liked to stay at home, and he liked to cook, and he liked to be with his mother, and because of that, his mother loved him better than Esau. And but of course, the father Isaac loved his big burly son more, and after all, he was the oldest. But one day Esau came home from hunting, and apparently he had not been successful because he was starved. I mean, he was hungry. And he comes into the kitchen and he says, I am starved. Give me something. And Jacob says, I've got some porridge here, some soup. And you can have that. And he says, good, give me that. I don't know. He said, what are you going to pay me for it? Esau says, well, I've got nothing. And notice in verse 30 of Genesis chapter 25, and Esau said unto Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with some of that red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do me?" And Jacob said, "Swear unto me this day." And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. In other words, he said, "You are firstborn, but now you must give me that privilege of being firstborn, so that now I am the firstborn." And everything that you would have gotten because you were older, now I get it. And for some reason, Esau said, "Well, I'm about to die." That's probably an exaggeration. And so here it is. And he swore unto him. And they made that bargain. And we're going to see how that God used it to kind of reverse things so that Jacob became the one through which all of the blessing would flow, not Esau. And it's just an interesting story, one of the things that happened. And as we see, it was something that God was using to guide history. And so here we see that Esau sold his birthright, birthright. I'll throw a W in there, to his older brother. To his younger brother. Man, I'm confused today. Sorry about that. Anyway, love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you in January, Lord willing. See you. Bye-bye.